Okay, so let's start to work in this other side here of our model. And here I'm working without or with the perspective. Generally, I do prefer to work without perspective, as I said to you guys. But sometimes it will be nice. But to be fair, I don't really um, feel too much difference on it, because yeah, in this case it's more on likeness with perspective. But once we start to work there, I I actually don't like to have those distortions. But in this case, it's not making too much trouble for us. So let's first focus on the work itself, right? Um, the first things I'll try to make these overall wrinkles here, those leaping lines that we have seen. And maybe I'm gonna need to smooth a little bit those ones. What I also can figure out is that these lines here that we did, maybe we're gonna need to make them longer, like that, and adjust some other things. Maybe I also feel some difference here into this ear's angle, so we're gonna have to work on it as well. And maybe all this part here are quite different. But first, I think the more important differences are concerning on this side here that we still didn't work it. So at first, let me see where I'm going to make those wrinkle lines. I do like to make this, maybe have these comparisons, and then from here we're gonna have kind of this distance until the wrinkle. We have these two wrinkles here that it should be like these two, and then we're gonna have some this wrinkle right here, maybe more like that, and we're gonna have it continuing like that here, and then in this part we can have like that. And then we're gonna need to work into this angle here for the eyes, and also all the this tarsal plates angle. We're gonna need to make it more into a diagonal shape, and then we're gonna work in this eye bags region here, and then make those wrinkle lines in the sides here. This one we're gonna have just a little bit here, and on others into this region. All right, so we're gonna need one wrinkle around here, I guess, and from this part, always I do prefer to follow this little distance that we have. It's easier for my perception to get the right distance between like these two lines here, and compare this space, then from nothing I'm going and it's there. No, it's kind of hard to find this space between those lines. So I like to make this mapping on the character. This way I can easier imagine, you know, and you don't actually need um, stroke stroke drawer like this, but just in your mind, it's nice when you are looking at the reference and try to perceive this distance, and not only the distance but also the inclination of each of these lines. When I say inclination, I mean it's always good to think on, like, if you have this diagonal, how much it will be inclined in comparison with a vertical line. So this part is more vertical, this one is more almost 45 degrees, and then it turns like that, you know. You go like walking around the model and your reference, and this way you start to make these comparisons and figure out those angle lines. Like, compare this line. I think mine is more inclined, is less inclined than this one in the reference, you know. So at first time, the important is to first draw the lines, and after we can manage to correct all of these lines. And because of this, we can say that working with old people, like work with the elders, are pretty much easier, I think, than work with young people, because with elders we have all of these points here. It's more, you know, hard work to do, but it's easier to map your reference and have those points to guide you. So this way you can make a copy more precise, really. So yeah, let's have a look on it, and I will try to memorize these wrinkle lines in this distance, making my perception get used to, and then yeah. Oh yeah. So let's go and do it. I'm gonna start by this one, which is the biggest one, I think. Let me check. Do we have some? Yeah, we had this morph target there. I think I will delete my morph target and store another one, so this way we can always go back again if we need. If we make some mistake into this next step, we can go back and erase just a specific part of the model. So good. Here I'm gonna smooth around a little bit those two parts here, so it's not marking too much like in the reference, like that. And here I can see we have this one, and then this other here would be around there. I like to do with my DEM standard brush. Remember, at first I'm just drawing the lines and having it positioned, but I'm doing it all because at a first place we tried to match very nice the primary primary forms on the model. So maybe before we start to do all these wrinkles here, maybe it would be nice for us to make that changes on the inclinations. So let's change a little bit. I'm gonna use the move brush with less intensity, just as we are already used to. Oh wait, I forgot to bring that software with the keys that I'm using. So there it is. So now you can better follow what I'm doing. But one thing that I can say is that you can always follow the brush that I'm using here. So if you feel kind of lost on what I'm doing, sometimes I'm used to use too much shortcuts, as I taught you in the beginning of this course. But the main brush that I use, you can see, are move brush and them standard brush and standard one. So don't feel scared. Most of the time I'm using this and just tapping the S button to make the adapt the draw size, and yeah, that's it. So let's first try to match this inclination for the eyes and the eye shape. Note that sometimes I like to work with Alt key pressed. You can see it here. When I work with Alt key pressed this way, I'm trying to bring the form, or even to push the form in a perpendicular way of the screen. So like that here, I'm trying to bring more like that. Maybe here this, let me check if we have it saved, this custom view. If yes, let's go and zoom it. Let's have a look into the reference more closely, and then we can try to replicate this. Oh, what you can see here is no. Here, what we can see is that this form, this upper eyelid, it kind of covers and brings above the lower eyelid. So let's try to replicate this at first. I did a first stroke with them standard. And note how I'm trying to push the volume into this region inside, just as the skin was folding on this lower part. And what you can see here, the difference, the first is that we have this mass. Here we don't have it, right? My damp standard is too strong. I don't like to work with too much intensity, like so. Here I'm gonna use my move brush, and note what we have here. We have this very thin aspect because we are missing like some the possibility to see this thickness, right? The form is just going inside, and this way we are not able to see like this thickness into this part here. So what I can do, I can go here and maybe add some mass over there, or even if I'm looking to this angle, I'm just first trying to push it, the volume there, and better have the curvature. But then what I can do is I can use my move brush with the back face masking turned on. Remember, the back face mask, you can find it here in brush palette, auto masking, and you're gonna be able to activate this back face masking. Once you activate this back face masking, you can grab this thickness. Note how it works. With this turned off, if I push, it's gonna moves all this volume, and without, it's gonna mask this first face of the polygons, and then it's gonna brings this thickness that I want to, and passing away that looking that was too thin and without thickness. Note how the tarsal plate are there working. Maybe sometimes I can even make this kind of volume there, so I can maybe give some volume here, work just a little bit like that. After we can refine it and make it more precise. And you know, when you do this kind of work, likeness is a very, very nice practice where you can learn a lot of from the reference you are looking, because all the time you are trying to copy the nature, not following only what the anatomical book says, but you are looking at a real reference, a real person, and you can easily see what is happening on there. And here I'm gonna need some, I don't know, maybe work from far distance. But at first, just trying to copy these encounters, these wrinkles and this folding, just to situate what I'm doing, and all doing with them standard brush. And being very careful with the shapes and the overall volume of each of these forms. If I increase one level, one subdivision level, So I'm not going crazy in this, because once I go back, I'm gonna realize that that is not into the right angle. Like if I maybe I feeling that this is more inclined than mine, but from this view I can easily go here with my move brush and oops, disable my back face masking, and I can bring it more to the top. And about this region here, I'm gonna try to make some that wrinkle there. Yeah. Trying to replicate that line, and now I think it would be nice for us to have some good masking on the eyelids. Then I can blur a little bit, not too much, and then go back to the view. Maybe I can disable this view mask here. The mask is still there, but now I can bring this a little bit more. Remember, we're gonna have maybe this angle, and this gonna start just a little bit behind, not behind, but lower than the end of the eyelids. There it is. So we're gonna need to bring it more lower. So now I'm still with my Depth Standard brush. I can increase a little bit the strong